What's going on, everyone? Starts with Kenny here today. We'll be reacting to Biden announcing his re-election bid at 80 years old. So here's the article, guys. Biden makes a re-election run. And my initial thoughts, let's read into the article just a little bit, and then I'll give you some of my initial thoughts. President Joe Biden made it official earlier Tuesday that he'll run for re-election in 2024, despite the fact that he will be 86 at the end of the second term in the White House. I think this makes him the oldest American president in history, I believe. Biden has been widely expected to announce his bid, even though his first term has been plagued by foreign and domestic policy missteps. Afghanistan, obviously, it seems his approval ratings has been on the low 40s, right? Even in 2021, when I had made was it 2021? No, 2022. I was making videos earlier saying that we were already in a recession because we suffered two consecutive negative GDP. So our economy shrank 2 months in a row, and I was like, oh, we're in a recession. And they threw this whole essentially ad campaign, liberal media, and this is why I say liberal media is biased, is they try to throw this whole narrative that, oh, it's more complicated, it's not a recession. And my argument was, we have the signal that a recession is going to happen, and over time, the economy is just going to be more and more apparent. I gave the boiling frog analogy. He made the announcement on a video shot earlier this month in his Arbor Beach, Delaware vacation home. Joe and Kamala are running for re-election, and we need your help to spread the word. Share this video with your friends, the video announced. And Biden's already faced a primary challenge with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and I hope he gives a decent challenge, right? And then this is my problem with the Democratic voter, right? Y'all complain like he has what? Let me see. 40%, like he's on the low end of approval ratings. Y'all don't like the guy. Yet y'all get behind him when it comes to a general election. Do Democrats care about being led by Democrats that much? And I think this is what it is. It's typical tribal politics. Oh, he's my guy. I guess I gotta vote for him, or else the country won't be under Democratic leadership. Even if this particular person, this particular candidate is so bad. 40, he's stuck at a low 40% range. Imagine that. Now, someone will say, oh, Trump was under a 40, but he was like Biden. I think Biden has the lowest approval ratings on average compared to him and Trump. Yet there's people out here who say if Trump runs again against Biden, they're fearful he could lose. Yeah, he could, or he could win. And to me, I want a Biden and Trump rematch again on 2024. You want to know why? Because that'll be the perfect measuring stick to see if American voters are really just tribalistic, hey, we go with the flow, or Americans are willing to learn and realize, yeah, we tried Biden's policies. We got a 40-year, or we got the highest inflation in 40 years, recession, squandered the economy, wasteful spending by doing an infrastructure bill that you can make an argument is what's causing inflation right now, because he increased the money supply unnecessarily when he didn't need to pass another stimulus check legislation. He has an Inflation Reduction Act that was audited and proven by policymakers, neutral third parties, to say, hey, this Inflation Reduction Act doesn't actually reduce inflation, right? Going, based on intentions, words. Is this what we're voting on now? And I blame us. Like this, end of the day, politicians are going to politician. Politicians want to stay in power. They'll say anything to stay in power. And that don't surprise me. What does surprise me is that Americans haven't done enough research, looked through this thing, say, hey, when these people put these laws in place, does it actually achieve the result that the bill says it does? Yes or no? And instead, some people just parrot talking points they heard on someone else's show, or they hear some news pundit tell them, and they just regurgitate it to you and think they're having a valid argument, when I don't think that's the case. And any disagreement you may have, I don't know who's going to watch, because anytime I do anything about these political candidates, I get heat for some reason. I don't know, but I don't care. I'm gonna state my opinion, and I stand on what I said. I don't see Joe Biden as a good candidate. I think a carrot will do better job than Joe Biden. I'm being facetious when I say that, but I'm being dead serious when I say this. I hope Robert F. Kennedy wins, but it seems like the Democratic establishment don't want anyone else but Joe Biden. So what choice does the Democratic voter really have? And this is what I've been trying to tell the black community. I'm like, yo, you shouldn't be loyal to these people because they're essentially rigging the game for Joe Biden to come out on top. They won't sponsor any other candidate but Joe Biden. The Republican Party ain't doing that. Well, the Republican Party lost, Kenny. This is why they wanted to change from Trump. It don't matter. And in the Republican Party, I believe that the Republican voters control that party more than the Democratic voters control their party. It seems like to me the Democratic leadership and the national committee in the Democratic Party, they pick the candidate and they tell their voters this is who you vote for. While in the Republican case, the people pick the candidate and we tell the leadership, hey, this is who y'all better be. Y'all better back behind this guy. Remember, Trump's first 2 years in office, he had a majority. He couldn't do anything because the establishment Republicans didn't want to get along with his agenda. And there was other things like the distractions from the Democrats with this Russia thing that they still couldn't prove. Schiff was like, oh, we got evidence on him. And then when it's time to under oath to give the evidence, he said he didn't have any. Bruh, I'm just saying. There's a lot of controversy, but all I want is a rematch because I want to see that measuring stick. America, are you going to prove the Democrats wrong and y'all just a bunch of sheep that as long as you keep repeating a narrative over and over and over and over again, they'll win without doing any results? Objectively, your life is worse. You went from a recession because of the pandemic to a recession because of Joe Biden's bad policies, banks failing, record inflation in 40 years. Is this the re-election y'all want? Is this the result y'all want? I don't care about intentions. Build back better. That's the intentions. How close to build back better did Joe Biden achieve in his first few years? None. And I blame us because in the 2022 election, Republicans didn't put. I mean, you can make the argument. Ben Shapiro had a great argument. I agree with this argument that we didn't put good candidates to take advantage of the situation. And now the Democrats got a big head thinking, oh, approval ratings don't matter. The people still voted for us in 2022. We still did pretty well in the midterms. We got to keep the Senate. We didn't get slaughtered in the House. Oh, we're not doing that bad of a job. I guess the American people like what we're doing. They like 40-year record inflation. They like the fact that we're pushing the vaccine mandates on all these people. All we have to do is pander to their feelings and they'll still vote for us. All right, good signal. You think that's a good signal? That they just need to pander to people and they'll still be in power? Or you actually want results? This is the decision I think the American voter needs to make. And that's why I want a rematch between Trump and Joe Biden. I don't care what anyone says. Because I need to see that. I need to see empirical evidence. I need to see, okay, what America really care about? Y'all care about solutions or y'all just care about people co-signing your worldview of how things should be? And as long as they lie to you and tell you things you want to hear, they'll get your vote. I want to know. That's what I want to know about America. So that way people stop wasting their time trying to convince you of the solutions. Because people can act like, oh, I want solutions. But then when it's time to see, okay, who you want solutions? This candidate was right about this candidate. Trump in the 2020 election told you, hey, if under me, Trump, the recession, we'll get out of the recession. If you vote for Joe Biden, you'll be in a recession.
He gets in, you will have a depression, the likes of which you've never seen.
Your economy will do bad. Inflation will go through the roof. He'll ban fracking. Was Trump vindicated or not? I'll say he was vindicated. We're in a bad economy, record inflation. Joe Biden revoked the Keystone Pipeline, right? He put us back into Paris Accord, which I see, and from a practical sense, I don't see no point into doing that when we wasn't contributing to carbon emissions compared to India and China. And we don't even hold, in the Paris Accord, don't even hold India and China accountable for their pollution, right? Joe Biden called Saudi Arabia a pariah. Now we're in the situation where Russia, Saudi Arabia, China, India, they all can come together and create their own little world order because they realize, oh, sanctions don't do nothing to us. Their economy recovered from the sanctions that the U.S. posed. Like we that's the foreign policy that's the foreign policy mess up that Joe Biden has allowed to happen. You want us to get more, you want respect in the foreign policy? Put Trump back in. But that's a decision the American people have to make. An emotional decision versus a logical decision. Because everyone keeps talking about politics is about picking the least worst option, right? Politics is about mitigating risk, right? Okay. One guy gave you record inflation. One guy didn't. One guy gave you a good economy. One guy didn't. One guy did well in foreign policy to the point where world leaders were respecting us and there was no wars. And as much as whatever claims, I don't care what. Look, I don't care about your intentions. I don't care about your political rhetoric. I look at the results. The results is there was no wars under Trump. Trump was signing peace treaties. Biden has a chance to sign up to broker peace between Ukraine and Russia, but he hasn't taken that opportunity because he has other priorities. Hey, I want to spend more money. Let's send money to Ukraine. The establishment seems to, when it comes to spending money, they agree on that. When it comes to raising the debt ceiling, they can come together for that. But any solution that would greatly benefit the American people, the establishment don't want to get together for that. I'm sorry, I've been rambling for too long. I might cut a lot of this out, but Biden's schedule is to meet with key donors on Friday. His campaign message is likely to emphasize his Build Back Better infrastructure plan. I already gave my commentary. I don't need to go into more for that. And his response to the COVID pandemic, which I think I saw some studies out there that Biden had more COVID deaths than Trump.
Anyone who's responsible for that many deaths should not remain as president of the United States of America.
So I don't know what he's gonna brag about with the COVID pandemic, but hey, I digress. I already got too political already. I'm already gonna get some hate in the comment section. The Republican field can expand, but it's shaped up to now to be Biden is likely to face rematch with former President Trump, who leads by a wide margin in polls. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is expected to announce his bid in the coming weeks and could pose a challenge to Trump. At 80, Biden is already the oldest president in history. His move is stifling, takes record amounts of vacation time, and often loses his train of thought while speaking in public. Should he win re-election, he'll be 86 when he leaves office in January 2029. So, and at the last part, it says, reaching Associated Press Center for Public Affairs research poll showed that a quarter of Americans, 25% of Americans, want Biden to run again, including less than half of Democrats. Biden approval rating is 46% in the Real Clear Politics average. Half of Democrats want him to run. Half of Democrats don't want him to run, right? But the establishment says, no, Biden's the guy. If your leadership saying, hey, I'm representing my voter base, I'm a representative of my voter base, because the Democrats and Republicans have a fundamentally different platform. Republicans see themselves as the representative of the voter, while the Democrats see themselves as the leader of the voter. And there's two different stances. The leader of the voter tell, hey, this is the guy y'all should support, and y'all should better support him. While Republicans, they're more like they're trying to sell themselves to the conservative base. Say, hey, I can represent you guys. I can represent your values. Vote for me. Right? The tone is two different things. This is why the Democrats can get away with pandering to black folks, expect them to vote 90% for them. And if they don't vote 90% for them, they'll say, you ain't black.
I have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
But I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with me and my take, but I'd like to hear your guys' comments, your thoughts on this whole re-election situation. Do you think Joe Biden has a great chance to win? What do you think about the primaries battles that's going on with the Democratic and the Republican candidates? I really like to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys for watching to the end of the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.